And so, it begins. Dark were the skies and chill was the wind as the land was covered in a veil of malice. Across the hill did ride a dread army of the night, cloaked in mist and fog, prepared to rain down death and destruction upon the land. And the people did crowd for a savior, a noble soul to save them from their impending demise. Just as it seemed all was lost, in strode a mighty hero, clad in shimmering metal from head to toe. Wielding a terrible broadsword, he did cleave his foes in two, smashing their ranks asunder with righteous fury. And when the day was done and the enemy strewn across the fields in pieces, the people did turn to the warrior and say, "We shall name this day in your honor. Speak unto us your wisdom." The warrior said one word that day: epic.
One man, one Murloc, one giant angry badger. This is Blue Please. It begins now. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the rescheduled Blue Please here on CynicalBrit.com with myself, Total Biscuit. The date today is the 28th of November 2010. It is 1 minute past 8 in the British Isles. It's 1 minute past 9 Central European summertime. That would also make it 1 minute past 3 on the East Coast and 1 minute past 12 on the West Coast. If you're anywhere else, then I don't cater to you because I'm discriminatory like that. What have I got coming up for you in the show today? Firstly, an apology, one for rescheduling this, and two for not making it absolutely clear that it was being rescheduled. That was a fairly dumb thing to do. I believe the only place that I did post it was actually on Facebook, which I'm well aware that some people read and some people do not. So that was my own fault. Very, very sorry about that. Should have posted it on the website, should have posted it on YouTube, you know the drill. Anyway, people can catch the archive, I am sure about that. What have I got coming up for you in the show today? Well, first things first, I'm going to give a big shout out to Slasher. Slasher, the famous Quake Live fellow. You should be aware of who Slasher is. If you're not, I'm going to give a shout out to him anyway. He was saying, hey, they're talking about you on the show that we're currently doing. Yes, indeed, the WOC. And I'm like, well, should I talk about you on this show? I don't really know how I can actually fit it in there. But hey, there you go. Big love to Slasher and all that nonsense with his Quake. Yes. He was saying I should cast Quake. Like, I don't know about that. It seems a little bit too complicated. Anyway, what have I got coming for in the show today? This is primarily going to be driven by your emails. I believe I already have enough, so you can stop sending them in now. I'm going to be giving away some games to those who sent me in good emails, just because I'm feeling in a generous mood. There's a great pack on Steam at the moment. It's called the Indie Puzzle Pack. It's got some amazing titles in it. Really, really good. And I'll tell you exactly what is in it. And I'm going to be giving one of these to everyone that sends an email in that is actually featured on this show. So you can continue sending them in if you so desire. I've picked most of them, but you never know. If you send in a really, really good one, then hey, I might read that one out nonetheless. I'm going to be basing this entire show on emails. Why? Because I haven't really had the time to play WoW this week, because I've been too busy with other stuff, like the DreamHack casting, which went really well, and I'm really, really happy about how that went down. It was great stuff. But I haven't really had a chance to do anything WoW-related. Obviously, the last WoW video I did and released, I believe, was on Tuesday, and that was for the Heroic Throne of Tides. I'm now concentrating on getting Azeroth Daily ready for its release, as well as working on leveling stuff. I'm going to be doing a video tonight, which is going to be leveling in Stone Talon. I have an old alt, a Shaman alt. It was quite amusing, actually, because I actually jumped in on this Shaman alt. I was looking through my servers, and it's like, I don't remember having a character on Defias, but I looked there anyway, and I found this level 25 Shaman that I'd leveled up about 5 years ago and then never done anything with. And that was bizarre, because I log in and I'm sitting there with my Crescent staff, and all of my abilities have reset. Half the abilities of my bar have disappeared. I've got to train another 10 abilities, and then I suddenly realise that all I've got in the world is 1 gold. I can only afford to train 3 abilities, so I have to go on Twitter and actually beg for gold in order to get this character up and running. Thankfully, that was provided by some generous individuals, so thanks for that. So I respect him. I spec him into enhancement because that sounded like a lot of fun. I went on the auction house and bought a couple of twink axes just because I couldn't find anything else. I've got the, what the hell is it? I can't remember. They're nice though. I think I've got some the Razor's Edge, and then some other axe, maybe the Skull Splitter or something like that. So I've got these 2 killer axes. I'm set up. I'm ready to go. I can't remember how to play a shaman because, of course, it was 5 years since I played the last one. Oh man, it's going to be entertaining though. Like I say, he's the perfect level for Stone Talon. Stone Talon's level 25 plus. That's exactly what my character is. He's level 25. Hell, I even had to run him down, all the way down indeed, to Senjin, because of course back in the day you couldn't get a mount on a level 25, you had to be level 40, so I ran him all the way down to Senjin to go buy my mount and said, oh wow, I've got a mount, isn't it fantastic? I have this little purple raptor I'm riding on. I'm very happy with it, folks. I'm very happy. Me enthusiastic about leveling. Oh god, how the hell did that happen? Anyway, I'm fairly sure I went off on a tangent there. I was going to tell you what was in this pack. So this indie games pack, if you don't win it, ladies and gentlemen, then you can buy it. It's only on today. So if you hear this show, I'll try and get this show uploaded as quickly as possible, but it's not expensive at all. At all, folks. This pack is £3.49 or about $5. It contains Cogs, Droplets, Puzzle Dimension, Shatter, and Tidalus. Every one of those games is awesome. So for £3.49, that's absolutely nothing. I'm sorry, I'm just hitting on a weapon of choice at the moment that someone called in and asked what DJ Wheat thought of me. I have no idea. I've ever actually interacted with DJ Wheat at any point. I have this very, very tiny link to DJ Wheat a long-ass time ago. Very, very long time ago. What happened? I think DJ Wheat, I'm fairly sure, was either initially, because this is so long ago, about 6 years ago at least, he was either a part of WoW Radio before I came in, a very, very long time ago, when there was an initial split in the old school WoW Radio crew. A lot of them went to a company called ITG, and I'm fairly sure DJ Wheat ended up on there before going on that. So I think that's the only actual connection that I've got to him, and that's tenuous at best. Because, of course, I wasn't on WoW Radio when DJ Wheat was involved in it. Like I say, he was there briefly, I believe, and he bailed for ITG, and then ITG folded, and he went on to do other greater things. Crazy stuff. I have nothing but love for DJ Wheat, honestly. That's my personal opinion on the guy. Like I say, I've never had a reason to dislike him. Alright, well, okay, so we've had a look through that. Yep, like I say, all of these emails I'm going to be using today will be getting an indie puzzle pack over Steam, so I will email the guys who did send them in. If you are on for other games, by the way, and I imagine a lot of you are still playing WoW right now, but if you're not wanting to level up, then of course you might be looking for something to pass your time. There's a lot of good stuff on Steam today in the sale. You got 21 hours, 51 minutes to buy them. My pick of the litter would have to be Mount and Blade Warband, which is a medieval combat simulator and an open-world RPG. And yes, you get to ride around on horseback, lopping people's heads off with a giant curved bardiche. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, it's what you want, it's what you need. And, by the way, don't buy the pack, because there's no point in buying the original Mount and Blade, because Warband is basically the same thing, but better. So, there's literally no benefit to having it. Okay, folks, I think I've blithered on quite a lot about that, so what I will do is I will mention what's going on with Trollface. So, Trollface is now sitting at about 2,850 members. We're about to fill up the third guild. We've got quite a few actives. A lot of people still waiting on Cataclysm. We're going to be kicking out inactives a few days after the Cataclysm launch. So we'll see how many we have then. I mean, I fully expect to lose a very significant chunk of the guild. Honestly, I'd prefer we just had one guild with 1,000 active people in it, as opposed to 3 guilds with 3,000 sort of semi-active people. But hey, we'll see how that goes. Whatever the case, it's looking to be really, really good so far. Things have calmed down quite a bit. We've actually got this mod in called Guild to Guild, which allows us to communicate with the guild chat like we were all in the same guild. It's really neat. What happens is, if you've got the mod in, it syncs up with a secret passworded channel, and then it actually communicates, so it looks like everyone's in the same guild chat. If you don't have the mod, you get to see it anyway, because it's relayed through people. So it's really, really awesome. I'm a big fan of that, and it's actually very, very cool indeed. We've done really well with it so far. We've got the big vent server running, and everyone seems to be having a great time, and we're looking forward to seeing what we can do with Trollface as things go forward. We're also starting to form up our divisions. We have a few people who've started up their divisions, and they've put their sort of mission statement in there. What I'm going to be doing is I'll be forming Trollface forums on the Cynical Brit forums, and I've got a bunch of applications for division leaders. So those who applied basically are going to post up, and they're going to say what their division idea is, what they want to do, when they want to raid, and then people can just join the division they want that's most convenient to them. Now, this is the whole point of this guild, is the ability to do anything within it. So if you want to just do arena PvP, you can do that. If you want to raid 2 times a week at very specific times, I can guarantee you that you'll probably find 9 other people who are interested in doing that with you, that are sort of on your level of skill. So many options. Aside from that, that's about it, I think. Honestly, like I said, I haven't had a lot of chance to play WoW. I'm looking forward to going in and hitting up Stone Talon today. It should be good stuff. And without further ado, it is time for this.
Mail time!
That sounds like it's mail time. Here's the mail.
It never fails.
It makes me want to wag my tail.
When it comes,
I want to wail.
Yes, indeed, folks. This is mail time. It's a time where we read your mail, see? I have quite a few emails. Can I get game packs since I asked nicely? No, because that's begging, and that's pretty pathetic. Okay. I will mention this one very, very quickly. I just want to cover it, because it would be nice to just have a post-mortem on this thing. This is a StarCraft 2 related question. This one goes out from Sebastian Borg. No, not Johann Sebastian Borg. God, Johann Sebastian Borg. I don't know, if I was called Borg, I would be pretty happy with that. Whatever the case. How do you feel that, now that DreamHack is over, that it went, for my part? Aside from the technical problems and the excessive waiting, which were, fairly inevitable, that's just how tournaments work, I thought he was kind of the same thing. I was happy, mostly, with what I did. I mean, there were a few flub-ups that I annoyed with, and I always get annoyed if I ever make a major mistake like that, and I watch through my stuff afterwards to try and point out exactly what I did wrong and to improve on what I did for the next cast. That's the way to do it, as far as I'm concerned. That's the way to learn. It's how Blue Plays got to this stage. I listened back to all the other ones. I listen to them after they're done, and I will then actually take notes. And if I've made a particular flub up with my method of speech, if I've mispronounced a word or whatever, I'll try and write it down, and then I will have a look at it, and I'll see if there's a way that I can eliminate that from the future shows. Whatever the case, I was really happy with it. I had a really good time. It was an honour and a privilege, ladies and gentlemen, to be able to cast something of that high level. I'm certainly not knowledgeable enough to do it, but the point of the fact is that people were entertained. So, casting is a weird thing, because people have a lot of different ideas about how it should be done. And in reality, none of them are right, but then again, none of them are wrong either. There are so many different ways of casting. I've said it before, and I can say it again until the cows come home and indeed take up residence on the sofa while eating TV dinners. It comes down to, 1, personal preference, and 2, the fact that sportscasting is generally done as a team, and that team is generally arranged in a very specific composition. That composition is a play-by-play commentator, the kind of person that is able to call the action rapidly in an exciting tone of voice. They're usually the alpha personality of the group. They perhaps have the most broadcast experience. You'll find that a lot of these play-by-play commentators on American sports channels, they went to broadcasting school. They have a massive amount of experience in the field. And then you have analysts who perhaps are not as experienced in broadcast, but know a lot more about the actual game. They're big into it. They're the theory crafters. They're the theory guys. What they do is, after the big play, they will analyze it. They will give the post-mortem of that play. Then you've got the color guy. Now, the color guy is not, in fact, black, although he may very well be. The colour guy is the guy that throws in the stats, he throws in the useless information, and indeed he throws in the jokes and the funny stuff. And you can compose a team out of 2 to 3 of those kind of roles, but you've always got to have a play-by-play, you've always got to have an analyst guy. And if you don't have that, then your team doesn't really work very well. And we've seen casting in the past, casting teams, particularly with StarCraft 2 and indeed other esports, where you've got mismatches. You've got guys who are analysts matched with people who also try to be analysts, and it doesn't work out so well, and they're both trying to figure out exactly who's doing the play-by-play, so you end up talking over each other, and there's not this constant presence, and you don't get a rhythm going. It's more of you're fighting over the mic, basically, and that's bad. You never want to be in that situation. You try and rigidly define the roles of your casters. But anyway, like I say, a lot of StarCraft casting is done solo because it's hard to do it over the internet. In fact, I would never recommend it. And, it applies to everything, WoW esports included. WoW esports only ever happens in a live environment in an actual tournament. You can't cast it otherwise, and I have to wonder whether that's actually a deliberate decision by Blizzard. You never really know that. But, yeah, that's why I cast solo, and it's not necessarily ideal, because I do miss stuff, and it is a very specific kind of commentary. It is play-by-play it's play-by-play mixed with colour, but it's lacking analysis, and that's a weak point of it, but people still found it entertaining anyway, and that was the main thing. I got a lot of new viewers that way who didn't necessarily go in for my kind of casting, at least they didn't think they did, but they were getting into it anyway, and that was great to watch. Obviously the majority of people watched Day 9, as they should, and it was an honour and a privilege to even get a look in when he was casting, so yeah, it was awesome. Really, really big fan of that, and I'm hopefully going to be at DreamHack next time. It was supposed to happen this time, and I'm really sorry to the guys who wanted to meet up at DreamHack. It was supposed to happen. A bunch of things conspired to make that not happen. It was really unfortunate. It wasn't really anybody's fault per se, but it just didn't end up materializing, and like I say, I would love to do it, and I'd love to be there in person next time, and we'll see how that one goes. As far as I'm aware, DreamHack was really happy with it. They said they were absolutely thrilled with how it went down, so yeah, great. And again, thanks to everyone that actually watched that. I know that's not really WoW related, but it does explain, 1, why the show was not on Friday, and 2, of course, why there haven't been all that many WoW videos over the past couple of days, so I feel that's fairly relevant. What I will say, one criticism that I do have is the fact that there was supposed to be a live raid with Paragon there. Paragon were actually there, and apparently he never really got to do much. And it was supposed to be casted. It didn't happen. And I'm disappointed about that, because I was told about it, and about a month ago I did contact a certain person at DreamHack to try and get it arranged and try and get me to do it, and that didn't end up happening, which was really unfortunate. I'm disappointed about that, and I'm sure Paragon is as well as all of the WoW fans. Hopefully they can get that sorted out for next time, and of course I'd love to get involved. My name is Total Biscuit. You're listening to Blue Please here on CynicalBrit.com. When I come back after the break, I'm going to be having the first of several listener-suggested topics. There will be rants, there will be some rage, perhaps, as you might expect. Now, what I'd like to play for you right now is from Machine Eye Supremacy's new album. This album blows away Overworld in, oh wow, it's just silly how good this album actually is. It's called The View from the End of the World, and you're going to love the title of this one. Do you ever play Half-Life 2, ladies and gentlemen? I'm sure you did, and if you did, you would be well aware of a certain combined detention facility called Nova Prospect. That's the name of this track. It's by Machine Eye Supremacy, and I'll be right back after this. Enjoy.